Hey, grade 8s. All right, so today we are going to move from lesson 1 of comparative writing to lesson 2. Now in lesson 1, if you take a look, we took two pieces of fruit. I took an orange and an apple, and I put them into two different categories and we compared them. I'm just gonna, because I didn't bring the fruit back, and I have orange on this side. Okay, so that was lesson 1. So we looked at both, we thought, okay, how can we compare these two? We got a bunch of information, and then I actually asked you to go and make another comparison with two other items, and we talked about what would be better on a deserted island, okay? So if you want to take a minute, you can pause me. Can you get these notes out, please? And then we are going to take some time to work with them. I also have with me today some highlighters and some different colored markers. So if you also, when you've paused me, if you wanted to grab some different colored highlighters or some different colored markers, that would be helpful as well. But I'm going to keep going. You're going to pause me and then come back. Today for lesson 2, I'm going to switch this now to lesson 2. What we need to do is take these two comparative charts and we need to find some things that we can use to make a firm decision on what kind of fruit we're going to take for lunch. Okay. When I look at these, I feel like up here I have a lot of things that are kind of similarities. They're both portable, they both fit into a lunch kit, they're both healthy, they've got vitamin C and fiber. Where it gets interesting in this one is that one of them bruises more easily, one of them needs extra equipment or possibly like a bag to hold them in, and one of them is messy and one of them is not. Okay, so here's where the comparison gets more interesting. So what I'd like to do is just show that in color. So the first kind of difference that I see is the bruisability of the fruit. Okay, so I'm going to put that in orange because they match, right? They go together. The second thing that I see is whether or not you need to cut or peel. We could talk about, maybe equipment in this one. Oh, look, my pink highlighter doesn't work very well. That's sad. Okay, and the third one is it messy or not? Because these are all going to help us pick what we're going to do. Okay, so here I'm going to just write messiness. Here, I was hoping to use pink. Let's see if I've got another pink thing I can use here. I'm going to put extra tools or equipment, let's say. Look at this pink one doesn't work very well either. All right, and the next one we are going to put, I don't know, should we put bruising? Okay. So I've got those three categories. Now what I'm going to do, you obviously don't have like a massive sheet of paper. What I'm going to do is take this information and now I'm going to put it onto a new piece of paper. So what I would like you to do for this is either to move down on your sheet of paper or start a new piece of paper as well. Okay, so this is going to now disappear and a new piece of paper is going to appear. All right, and I need to put this somewhere where I can see it still in my setup here. Okay, here we go. So comparing these two things, here we go. What we need to do is we're going to think, okay, bruising is number 1. I'll make my eyes normal. Bruising is number 1. So up here we have apple and orange. All I'm concerned with now are the differences between these two fruit. Okay, so bruising, I have, yes, easily bruises. The orange does not bruise. Whoops. Okay, and I'm just going to remind everybody, you can pause me and take these notes because the fact that I'm left-handed works to our disadvantage in this, doesn't it? All right, so bruising. Next, I'm going to talk about the extra equipment. And I'm going to put equipment in quotation marks because I mean this in a really broad sense, right? None. I don't need to take an extra knife or a bag or a container of any kind. For an orange, I may need a knife, or a container to hold. Okay, so that's the extra equipment. And now the third thing we need is the messiness. Maybe you guys are extra awesome and you have already figured out that this is what we're doing. So there's this messiness factor. Okay, so there's no sticky juice with the apple. No peels to get rid of. All you have is the core. What should we say about that? Only the core to throw away. Okay. Now when it comes to the orange, it is very juicy, sticky. We have, at the very minimum, you're going to have to throw away peels. And there could possibly be a leftover container. Okay, all right. So now I've taken all that information that we had on this first sheet. I'm going to show it again. Okay, and I've just taken these things and I've made a new comparison that just shows those differences. And remember, the whole time I'm asking which fruit would be better to take for lunch when we get back to school. Okay, now if you want to go extra, I apologize, I'm not awesome at drawing straight lines. Maybe I'll have good luck today. Okay, so here I have the categories that I've chosen to compare the apple and orange, and then I have the results of that comparison. And you're going to take these notes and have this as your example. Then what I would like you to do today is to take whatever you did for the desert island, whether it was tape versus glue, or shoes versus sandals, or sunglasses versus hat, whatever that was. I would like you to take your initial brainstorm, which would have looked like this. I want you to find 3 categories where you can say, okay, I can compare them in terms of this, this, and this. And then I would like you to make a new chart. All right. Now, if you would like to, if you want feedback on your chart, you can send it to me and I'll email you back and let you know what I think and if you're on the right track. But otherwise, this is going to be for your information. Next week, what we're going to do is learn 2 different ways to organize this information into a paragraph. All right. But for today, this is your only task. It's a nice, easy one. I would like you to make your own chart of your own desert island items. All right, you guys, good luck. Email me if you need anything.